lights in, I can't catch them pigs. Right now it's 38 degrees. It's raining. A little bit of a breeze, not bad. I'm up in the river of Lake Wiley right now. Hoping we can get a monster for the day's up. Just come out and do a little short trip just to see if we couldn't find something. Marked a lot of good fish coming up through here. Problem is the water temperature is about 5 degrees colder up here compared to the lower end of the lake, or even in the middle of the lake. But we got the heater on, got the cabin, so nothing else. We're comfortable except for when we walk outside. Let's see what we can do. Really good fish. Now let's see. Down there hitting some tree tops. I'm anchored just above a bunch of trees. Hopefully we can get him pulled out of it. Looks like a decent fish. Staying deep. Might be an old flatty or something. Anchor on this side of the boat. I gotta be careful. Basket. Dang. In this current, it could be anything. I see him. It's blue. Decent little blue. Water's good and clear up here. There he is. Nice one. No monster, but a nice fish. Nice fish. Oh yeah, pretty old fish. Caught him on a little crappie fillet. And yes, crappie are legal to use for bait in North Carolina. They just have to be caught on a hook. That'd be caught legally. No cast net. Catch them in a cast net, you gotta turn them loose immediately. Boy, it's gonna take a while to get in. I about spooled that reel when I threw it out. That's it we got. First fish of the day. Oh Lord, he's a lot bigger than I thought he was. Fat little fish. What we're gonna do, I'm gonna go and slap a tag in her and turn her loose. Get a weight on her. Shoot, I'd take that during tournament time. 25-2. That ain't bad. Alright. Let's get a tag in her. Good fish. Pretty fish. Just a quick FYI. Right now I got a wind that wants to swirl, it wants to blow upstream, it wants to blow sideways, it wants to blow everywhere. Normally I just put an anchor right off the back and it kind of holds me fairly straight. But one thing you can do, if you got a small drip sock, this is a little, like a 54 incher. I got the front anchor really, really good. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to put this one off. Tie it off the back of the boat here. Got a hook just for that. And you'll see that right there will straighten the boat up. That current's going to pull straight on that anchor, and you can see now it's starting to pull the boat right around. Works really good as long as you got current rolling. There we go. Boat's straight. Wind's still blowing, but you've seen how quick it corrected the boat. Now we're facing straight downstream again. Just a quick FYI. If you ain't got a drift sock like I do, and you know you're going to be fishing in current, just bring you a couple 5-gallon buckets. They don't work as good, but they do work. There we go. Got a down line hanging off the side of the boat. Just picked it up. Oh, there he is. That was like a marker. Good fish. Looks like another one in mid-20s. I think I'm getting this one up front. Oh, that was quick enough. Maybe a little bigger than the last one. A little bigger. Whew. There we go. Ouch. That there had a perch head. Alright, so we got one on perch, got one on crappie. That's another one. Alright. Pretty fish. He may not be as big as the last one. He looks it, but I don't think he is. 24.5. That's not bad at all. Well, fish, it's time to move on down the lake. It's time. Crazy looking. Well, that's what I've been looking for. See all these fish? Got fish scattered all over this flat. Look at that pile of fish right there. Well, I think it's time to drop some anchors right here. I ain't gonna find much better than that. This whole area, this whole flat's covered. Let's see if we can get one on the bite. Alright. We set up on that pot of fish that we seen. It could be a big pot of carp, it could be a big pot of anything. It's funny how this area on the lake, I've been here many a time, and you'll mark those schools like that, and usually you'll know pretty quick if it's a school of catfish. They're potted up. There's a pod right back here. There's a little pod right over here to the right. And there's a couple scattered on this flat over on the side here. More than likely, what's funny, more than likely the rod I'll catch the fish on will be the one where I just had a few fish scattered here and there. It seems like a lot of times I find those big pods like that. Either I just sit forever before I finally get a bite, or when I do finally get a bite, it's just smaller fish. Those look like a lot better fish on the screen. But I'm thinking all these ones that are out here scattered, they're probably feeding fish. They're probably out here scavenging, looking for something. So my gut tells me I'll catch my fish over here in these scattered fish. But you never know. We'll give it about 35, 40 minutes here. If we don't do any good, we'll move on down the line again. I've got a little bit of current running, not a whole lot of current, but I got a little bit of current. So we'll just have to see what happens. Now what I do, a lot of people don't realize it, and I'll show you on the screen. Hopefully I'll get a clip up before it gets dark. But if you mark fish like that, reach over and put your cursor on top of it, and what it'll do, it will actually bring up on the screen exactly how many feet to the left or the right of the boat that icon is, or that little mark is. On most of your touch screens, even on your older HDS models that I use low rents, you can scroll over a fish. When you scroll over a fish, if you look down the bottom where it's got the GPS coordinates, it'll tell you exactly how many feet you are away from that point. So what I do is I know I've got 150 feet of rope off the front of the boat. So the way I anchor, I'll go above the mark. Again, I'll keep it tagged. I'll go above it until I get about 200 feet above it, or to the side of it if there's no current, or whatever direction that I want to fish depending on the wind or whatever. So what I'll do is I'll go about 200 foot above it. I know I got 150 foot of rope. I'll go up, drop the rope, drop the anchor. I'll back up till I run out of rope. Now I know I'm about 50 feet from the target that I'm wanting to fish. Once I get to that point, a lot of times I'll go ahead and drop a back anchor just for something for dead weight to keep the boat from shifting side to side. Once you get that set, then I'll pull myself back forward to where I got about a 65, 70 foot cast to the fish that I'm trying to target. That way I feel like I'm far enough away from them that I'm not going to bother them. And like on cue. Y'all didn't tell me I had a fish on. Well, it looks like that pot of fish I seen were actually feeders, don't it? feel like no monster, but it's good fish. Feels like a heavy fish. Feels like a pretty decent fish, 20s probably. It's hard to tell in this current. He may not be that big. Nice little fish. Oh, well, we literally been set up for, I don't know, 30 seconds. Oh, pretty little blue. That didn't take long at all. I mean, he ain't no monster. Oh, just a good little high teener. Well, now we know what that pot of fish is. Now let's hope we can get another one to bite. I hadn't even had time to get the heater fired off yet. Well, it turns out those were catfish I marked. He's a small teener. Still pretty fish. Look at that. Nice, pretty fish. Nice and healthy. Alright, let's go ahead and we'll get a weight on him. I'm guessing. What do y'all guess? I'm guessing probably 12 pounds, maybe 13. I doubt it, maybe. Oh, shoot, I'm dead wrong. He's 14 and a half. Quit moving. He's about 14.5. Not bad. Not a bad fish at all. Sometimes I'd love to have had that one. Alright, we're going to cut her loose. Goodbye. That didn't take long at all. That made me look like I knew what I was doing. That was on a crappie fillet. Again, I'm in North Carolina. Caught them on hook and sinker, hook and line, so I can use them for cut bait. I just can't. I can't remove the head from this tail. You gotta leave the backbone intact. As long as the backbone's intact, the fish can be measured to make sure it's the proper length. Any game fish in North Carolina that's judged by length, you have to maintain the skeleton. All right, let's get this back out there and try again. I know there's fish out here. That's pretty awesome. Oh, I brought a rag, but I have no idea where it's at, so oh well. Anyway. Alright, so back to what I was trying to tell you. If I can remember where I was at. I know we got 150 foot of rope. I'll back up to 150 foot. That'll put me about 200 foot or about 50 foot from my target. I like to make about a 60 to 70 foot cast. That one right there, I'll put it out probably close to 100 yards. But I marked fish all the way down. There's like pods, and outside those pods there's just scattered fish all over the flats. I'm in 18 foot of water, and it drops off to about 25 foot of water right off to the left here. I got 12 to 13 foot of water right over here to the right. So I'm in a little bit of a slough going through here. But anyway, drop the anchor, pull up 50 to 60 foot from it, tie everything off. Now I know just a nice little cast puts me right on top of those pods of fish. a good long cast puts me past them, and I can pretty much scatter and cover the whole area. The current's keeping the boat pulled pretty straight right now. Got a pretty good wind blowing, so it's going to get the boat rocking left and right, but once the lines are out, I don't care. I'll be fine with that. Alright, hopefully we can pick up a big fish here in a minute. Like I say, I know I got pods of fish out here. So let's just get the bait to move a little bit. About 10 feet. See if we can't drag it into one of them. It's just an old mud flat, so I ain't got to worry about reeling it into a snag. So we'll move them, let it set for another 15-20 minutes, and then do it again. Little channel. Wow. Look at this. I'd say he was buried up in the mud a little bit. Alright. I drug it by his nose and he couldn't stand it. He had to eat it. Hopefully he didn't get my bait off. Hey, but it was still a fish, right? I'll call you back. Another channel cat. No, it ain't. It's a blue cat. A little one. Tell your mama. I said that. Pretty little fish though. First hit it, he acted like he was going to do something with it, didn't he? Look at him. Now that is a pretty fish. My wife don't agree. That's a pretty fish. Healthy as he can be. I guess I'll go and bait it up one more time. We'll just stay here till the day's over. Hope we catch a monster. I ain't even gonna put on no fresh bait. Starting to get a little cold out here now. I'm gonna put this way off to the side on top of that mud flat. and get lucky. Alright, we're gonna give it 30 more minutes. Call it a day. Alright, well the wind's about to pick up and the rain's starting to pick up. Fishing's pretty much dropped off to where there ain't hardly anything hitting. I mean, I could probably make one more move and find some more fish, but I caught fish. That's all I want to do. Come out and fish in the rain a little bit, catch some fish. All in all, it's been a pretty good day. No monsters. I think I've got 10 fish. That ain't bad on a day like this. Not starting till around lunchtime. Biggest one's 25 so far. So, hey, you gotta go fishing when you got the opportunity. That looks good. Oh, that's tough. That looked like a good pull down there for a minute. Thought I was gonna get another one while I was talking to y'all. I think the problem is now the fish I'm marking here are just all small fish, but again, we got to go fishing. Right now the temperature's around 40 degrees, it's raining, got a wind, got a little current. I ain't giving up. Don't take but one pull. That fish for a lifetime ain't but one pull away. You never know. Alright, we're going to sit down here and enjoy the heat for just a little bit longer and then we'll call it a day. A little better fish. Definitely better than that channel cat I just caught. Right, a little blood just caught me. Man, decent little fish. Look at him blowing up out there on that little flat. Tainer. Little tainer. First fish I caught on big bait today. Every fish I've caught today has been on small bait. Man, here we go. Monster. Decent little fish. Fish are healthy. So look how fat and healthy that fish is. You done? Oh, you back. Hey, it's a nice little fish. 12 pound, maybe 13. Nice fat stomach on it. I'll use these grips on a fish this size. I use grips mostly for control. I don't even like taking a fish this size and supporting him like that for too long. Okay. Alright, let's turn him loose. catching on monsters. Let's get a good steady day of action. That's kind of what you want. As long as you're catching, you got a chance. You ain't catching, you ain't got a chance. Like I said, right now I'm in current. So I'm going to cut that fillet like a long little strip. And I'm going to barely hook it. I mean, I have barely got that skin, you can see. Just enough where it won't pop off when I go to throw it. In the current, that thing's going to sit out there. This float's going to get it up off the bottom. And in the current, that thing's going to be sitting there doing this, just like it's swimming. I'm going to show you how to hook this. I think it's a mistake a lot of people make. What I've got here is I got a big old perch head I just cut off. It's not a big perch, but perch head. If I'm fishing in current, if I'm in current, I'm going to go right through the nose, just like that right there. And I'm going to barely hook it. You gotta understand, you'd rather this bait pop off when a big fish gets a hold of it than it stay on the hook. So I'll just barely hook it through both lips to where the mouth's shut, and it'll stay in that current and it'll lay like this. Now if I'm not fishing in current, I'll hook him right through that little flap right there. And the reason why is that way when he grabs that, this right here will tear right through. I mean, a fish that hits that, more than likely he's gonna suck the whole thing down at one chunk anyway. And if I pull the hook out of him and I miss him, hey, at least I know I got the hook at him. But you get that hook buried up too deep in that bait, you'll never catch that fish. Like I say, I'd rather have it just like that, let him grab it and it pop off. It's got a good chance of catching him in the corner of the mouth right there. Hooking them through the nose, you gotta think, sometimes the nose itself will get in the way on a circle hook. But I'm in current. Not a lot of current, but I'm in current. So we're gonna go right through the mouth, just like that. That fish here came off the top of a mud flat over there. And what's funny is this fish I just caught over here come off the top of a mud flat. So that tells me all my smaller fish are up on top of these mud flats. I need to find where them big fish are laying at. We'll get that one out there a little bit. Dead perch in here. Got that over the ridge, all the way to the back side of it. Hope I can get a fish over there. Alright, so I'll launch them lines over the flats in the channels on the opposite side. Pulled him off. Nope, he's coming to the boat. There he is. Nothing big, but it's a fish. It's hard to find a little bit. It's another one of them little small fillets I put out. Now I'm a big bait, big fish fisherman. Do I think you can catch big fish on small bait? Yep. But if you get into a school of small 3 to 5 pound fish. You put out a big chunk of bait and you can pretty much keep them from beating you to death. This one here's about the same size it looks like. Kind of messy in there. There he is. Oh yeah. Just about the exact same size. If you're out here fun fishing, it's a good day. Another little fat, healthy blue. Nice little blue right there, nice and healthy. You can put that little thing on the grill, that'd be some good eating for sure. Alright, we're gonna go ahead and turn her loose. We'll go ahead and throw that lines out a little bit longer, see if we can catch a few more fish. But if I don't, I'm gonna go ahead and tell you right now, I appreciate you watching. I appreciate you for taking the time to watch the videos I put out. If you're not a subscriber, please subscribe and push that bell. That way you'll be notified when I put another video out. Thank you. I appreciate it. Well, I think it's that time. When we get home before the fog sets in, I'm going to put everything up, clean everything up, and catch something while I'm getting everything straightened out.